Okay, got our little timing mark carved in there. So now that can come off, and these parts now go to the scrap pile. And the new weight basket goes on like so, and there is our mark. Now that goes on with a little snap ring, so we'll get that on there. That holds that weight basket on. Okay. Looks like we're in. Okay, so that's all on. So we're good there. Now, the next step is the governor weights and all of this. So these weights, they go in this basket like so. They sit in there, and centrifugal force trips them, or throws them backwards. They lift this washer up, which also holds this. They lift it up, and that actuates the governor. So these just go in. We'll put a little diesel on them, more for lube than anything. Okay, those on there. Okay, and now our little washer, you kind of just have to move them back a little bit, get enough of them back that you can get that thing down in there. There. Okay, so now there's that. Now the last thing is this collar that rides in there as well, and it just sits on top of that washer. So you put it in there, there you go. So they're in there. So those just pull up. So centrifugal force spins this around, those weights come back, and it actuates the governor. Okay. Now the only thing I have to be careful about is not moving this around so that those things fall out. So we just kind of got to be careful about that from this point forward. And I think the next thing really is going to be putting this all back into the housing. So we'll wipe everything down here. Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything, and I'm not. So, okay, so we'll put a little grease. We'll put a little grease on this. Oh, I do know. Well, there's a O-ring that has to go on this pump body. But we'll put a little grease on here just to aid in the sliding in, because that's aluminum. This is all steel, and it'll just help everything go together a little bit. So, okay. New pump body O-ring. That goes, actually, let's see, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll put it on this way, I just don't want to cut it. Okay, and it goes right down here into that groove on the pump body. Okay, on the pump head. Okay, and now I think the simplest way here is a couple of things have to happen. We got to make sure that we're lined up properly, because this ball stud has to screw into that cam ring, and it's got to be lined up with this hole on the bottom. So we got to make sure we go back, that everything's kind of aligned. And there's a couple of locking bolts that hold all this together. So those have to be aligned as well. So I think we're pretty close right there, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, hang on a second here. I want to make sure I'm not forgetting Yeah. Okay. So let's see how this goes together. Hopefully it'll just slide right on, but it's a pretty tight fit. I don't want to beat on anything. There we go. Almost there. Oh, boom. And I think you can look, yeah, and you can see where the those bolt holes aren't quite lined up. So we got to come down just a little bit more. Not quite there, and our alignment stud hole isn't either. So we're getting close though. There, whoa, that was way too much. Holy smokes. I don't even know how I'm gonna get that back. Okay, well, that was a mistake. Oh, there, it's walking back. Ah, too far. Doggone it. Okay, Jerry, get this together. Okay, not so much brute force this time. Okay. Oh boy, problems. I just ruined the O-ring. Yep, cut it right in half. Damn it. All right, well, we got a spare here. We got the old one, so I guess it's going back on. Wow, that was a mistake. Okay. All right. We'll try this a little more gently now. Okay, let's get things lined up here. That lines up with that. Like so. All right, try this again. A little more grease. And it goes this way. Now it's sliding right on, so that's good. Pieces of O-ring sticking out everywhere. Gosh darn it. Can't believe I did that. Oh well. Almost there, not quite. Don't want to ruin that O-ring. That's my last one, so let's see. Are we close? Let's find a couple of our retaining bolts here. Let's take a look here. Not quite. 1/8 of an inch off here. Oh shoot. And now I think our governor fell apart. Damn it. Okay. That one went. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we are, and there's our alignment marks. Those line up perfect, so okay. We're on the right track right now. Now, I think, let's see, we got to get, I have to try to keep all of this upright so I don't, so those governor weights don't fall out. So now we got to get this little stud back down into that cam ring. Goes. Now, this is not the right tool for this, which is how I got myself in so much trouble taking it apart, so I'm gonna be kind of gentle with it. I really don't think it can go anywhere, so that's good enough right there. Okay, so that's together. All right, and our cam, our timing marks, they line up just right, so we're good there. That thing moves back and forth freely. Okay, all good there. Now, I think it's time to start putting some linkage into that governor housing, because then that's what will hold this. I can finally get that, keep those governor weights in there. Yeah, and I hope, let's see. This is what actuates against that that governor collar that slipped into those weights. So this just drops down in here. I'll look down in there. Can I see anything? Because I think that thing is supposed to be turned a certain direction, because I know it's flat on two sides. So you got to make sure that it'll catch. And I didn't bother to look at that when I dropped it in, but fortunately you can reach in here and turn it. I really don't even know which way it's supposed to go. I'm guessing like that. All right, some pieces that need to go in here. This piece drops down in here. It goes, I believe, yeah, it goes this way. Yeah, like that. Then this drops down in there. Gosh, I don't know. And then sits over the top of that pin, but just like that, I guess. This little shaft goes through here. This little shaft, and it's in essence square, but it's got a V groove, and that part comes back towards the mechanism. So the 90-degree corner goes in here like this. You got to get it through that housing, yeah, like that. Okay, now none of that can come out, right? Yep. Okay, a couple little O-rings go on the end of that. So walk those on. And there's a couple little brass nuts that go on there. Okay, there's one. Now the other on this side. Actually, I'll back that one off a little bit so I can push it through and get this one on. Okay, push your little O-ring in there. Goes right down in that housing, like so. And our other little brass cap. Okay, battery just went dead in the camera, so I had to stop and change that. Tighten those down real quick. Okay. Now we can tighten these two little. You don't want to tighten these too tight because they'll bust off, so we'll just kind of snug them up. They just hold it, not that critical. Just got to make sure that those O-rings get depressed in there. So I hope this is right in here. We've got that all in there now. That's all fine. So now it's time for some throttle linkage. So that's right here. This side, this is the throttle. And I've already put the new, it comes with a new plastic washer and an O-ring. Those go through here. That goes through here. And then there is a little spacer sleeve that goes on there. And then and this is keyed, and then this throttle assembly thing goes on here like so, and it is keyed, so it'll only go on there one way, and it's got to catch the end of that spring assembly. So you get that on there like that. It goes just like that. Okay, work that through like so. Then the shut-off portion of the linkage, same thing, new gasket or new washer and new O-ring, and it comes through the other way and it goes down like so. So the adjusting screws are up. This is the on-off for fuel supply, and that goes in there like so, and then it all slides together. A little tight here. Got to get those O-rings compressed and in there. Like so. And like so. And then this little hook goes in there and drops into that slot. and locks everything together. Although it's been a little difficult here, so let's see here. Do I have something wrong? Get everything lined up just right, maybe. Drop that thing on. That should just drop on, and it just kind of captures down on there, because that also actuates. I mean, that's the fuel shut-off lever. That's a brand new hook, because that other one I showed you was broken. Oh, I hate to do this, but I can't get that thing to go on there. That's probably how the other one got broken. So we're not going to force that. We're going to work on this a little bit and figure out what's going on. So let's take this back. Yep. Okay, now move this back, slide that in, put it on there, and then I just got to get that thing down on. Oh gosh, I hate to do this, but I think that's all it needs, just a little persuasion. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, now we're locked in. So that's our fuel shut off. Okay, that's our fuel. Throttle. Okay, fuel shut off. Everything seems to be working fine. Let's make sure that clip is on there all the way. Yep. Okay. Okay, after much fiddling around, particularly with that weight basket yoke and governor yoke, I finally got everything lined up. It was kind of a pain, but we got it. Now we can tighten this little shaft down. I didn't realize there were a couple of alignment issues in there, and I had them wrong. And so I got those. Now I think I'm good there. I hope. Once again, kind of flying by the seat of my pants. Other than videos that I've seen from other guys, I don't have a parts breakdown or anything on this. So, but everything seems to be aligned now properly, and I've got it to the point where I can hold the throttle back. I've got a zip tie on here to hold it, and that will hold those weights in place. And everything seems to be aligned properly down in there, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we're in a good place now. So, all right, let's see. Next, I think we're pretty much done under here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know of anything else under there. Throttle's all assembled. Fuel shut off is working properly. Now I guess I can go ahead and put the cover on just to get it sealed up. So I've already put a new gasket in here. Came with my gasket set. So that goes on there like that. Now let's fish those bolts. Got some pieces that go in here. Got these two pistons that, I don't know if you can see any of this. I probably should have done this before, but that's okay. That go in here, and then just a plug where it is right here that goes in here. Now these all get new O-rings. So let's start with that. So the plug. O-ring for the plug, that would be this one. Okay, so that's ready. These get new O-rings. These have so this has got a piston that slides in and out of there. I've cleaned that all up. It's got two O-rings on it. One that seals it in the body, and then one that just seals the threads to stop them from leaking or keep them from leaking. And they're not quite the same. So the thread one is a little bit bigger. Roll it on here first. Make sure it's seated good, and then the one that seals it into the pump house, pump body itself. Okay, and then the piston goes back inside, and then this little button rides on there, and the round, that button is concave on the top, and it rides against that little ball stud that was the source of all my angst earlier. So let's get these O-rings on here. Now this piston has a spring in it, and goes on the other side, and I'm gonna have to go back and refer back to which one goes on which side. I'll do that in a minute here. So we got those plungers all back in now. Now it's time to button up the end of this thing. So first thing first, the end plate that goes on it, I kind of disassembled some of it, just cleaned it out really, really well. It was pretty crusty, blew a lot of brake clean through it. But there's not a lot to go in here. There is this piston and a spring and a plug. I hope that was the right order. I think so. And then that just seats down in there. I put a new O-ring in it. Okay, so that seats in there. There's a plug, just a regular old 1/4-inch pipe plug. It's plastic in this case. I guess it's just a drain or something. I don't know. It says out on here, but so I don't know. But anyway, that just tightens up in there. Then these little vanes go in there, and these are what pump the fuel. So the first one goes in U-shaped up, and then the other one locks into it U-shaped down. Then you have this pump cam that goes in there, and once again, clockwise versus counterclockwise. We need counterclockwise facing us. So we put that in there with the CC up. Get it in there just right. Okay, and then rotate it around, because this end has a little dowel pin. You can see that, and it orients at the 3 o'clock position. So we got to make sure everything's good in there. We put a new O-ring in, drop that in there. Put this on there, making sure that dowel locks in, and it did. Then we get our bolts out. Okay. Screw those down in there. A hole here. We've got a cover plate over here to go on. And this is the side that we don't read. So it goes like so. Very near the end here. Finally, what an ordeal this has been. but we're getting it now, so just about have it done. So that's good. Okay, well, we'll come back and let's see, we got this left. Looks like it gets a new O-ring. Where's my pick? Oh. So let's see about that. Must be this one. I don't know if it is or not, but that's what I'm going to use. Oh, that doesn't look too good. Yeah, maybe not.